people when they're preparing for an online presentation, practice alone in Zoom. Practice alone in a Zoom meeting and actually record yourself on that Zoom meeting, because then you can watch it back and see how things are being seen from your virtual audience's perspective, which I think is very valuable.
Yeah, that is a great idea, by the way, especially if the talk is, or if the meeting, if the presentation itself is like very important. So obviously that rehearsing is nice, but then you can kind of take this advice which I believe everyone gives to the business world and to the NGOs and to everybody that's speaking, that, hey, try to rehearse in as closest environment to your reality as possible, right? So now if you kind of fine tune that and say, how do we adapt that to the online world? Well, maybe it's exactly as you say. Yeah, that is interesting. I haven't thought about that.
It's like just like sports, right? If I'm a marathon runner, I'm going to train for marathons. I'm going to try and run marathons so I get better at it. If you want to get better at presenting on Zoom, practice presenting on Zoom in a safe environment on your own.
I would add one more thing in regards to the tools. I don't know whether or not you agree, but if you say Zoom, WebEx, or Teams or whatever, I don't know whether or not you see it, but we always advise the people that we work with to do two major things. The first one is that they need to get familiar with the platform. I don't know whether or not you see this issue. Hey, where is this share screen thing? Like, wait a minute, how can I change? They don't know the platform at all. Do you see that often, or
huge issue? Huge issue. I mean, it ruins the flow of all the presentation.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't know how to share a slide, if you don't know how to unmute yourself, I've seen that before with speakers. You really need to get comfortable with your platform, and that's why I always encourage people to practice on their platform, because it's not just a case of testing out your speaking, it's a case of testing out how you're using the tools as well. So if you want breakout rooms, for instance, I would practice running through how those breakout room functions work on your own as well.
Absolutely.
The last thing you want is people just being stagnant because they don't know what's happening, because you are confused about what you're meant to do.
Where is the button? Where is this break? So what's going to happen after if I click this one? But that happens, by the way, in the business world very, very often. I mean, that is just, especially if you're being invited to a call in a platform that you don't know. Like we were like 6 months ago, we were invited for first time ever in a BlueJeans call. I don't know if you have used that. Yeah. So we were like, oh, let's jump into the platform beforehand, because this doesn't look good for us if something goes wrong, right? And by the way, thankfully we did, because there were some things that were not as clear to us as we thought they would be. And we figured them out beforehand, so that once we were on the call with, and by the way, we were on a call with the CEO of a very big bank. So if we were about to lose his time being incompetent in what we do, it was going to backfire on us.